The Fallen Goddess Scenario in 9 episodes. Episode 3, Protection and Projection. All the aeons in the pleroma observe closely how Sophia and Pela generate the human genome, the anthropos. Their participation is ecstatic, like the swell of a chorus engaged in a song of celebration. In sweeping movements, they encircle the mating aeons. Their excitement erupts in momentous bursts of sound, immense acoustic waves. The entire company of aeons dance and sing to celebrate this achievement. They unite around the template and cradle it in a protective lattice. To complete its protection, another aeon, Christos, anointing, saturates the genomic template with a plasmic gel that acts as a sealant. The genome requires the special properties of gemmation, so that when it develops into an organism, it will have the cellular resilience to maintain its vital boundaries. The anointing action of the aeon Christos also endows the species genome with the capacity to live in harmony with other life forms. It instills the key attribute of symbiosis. Now the anthropic template is ready for projection. Acting as one united body, the aeons project it outward beyond the limits of the galactic core. Using a directional ray, they open a needle-like channel on the border of the pleroma. From there, they release it into the galactic limbs, where it can emerge in planetary worlds. The pleroma is the realm of infinite possibility, the core domain. Beyond it in the galactic arms is the kenoma, the realm of finite possibility. Countless stars, nebulae, globular clusters, and planetary systems fill the vast reaches of the spiraling arms. Among these planetary systems, some will provide a favorable habitat for the anthropos. The projected template resembles a gelatinous clump like frog spawn. It streams across galactic space toward the third arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Then it drifts down into a molecular cloud, the Orion Nebula, M42. There it settles and expands into a vast suspension of nucleic mist, like a pattern of dew on a spider's web. Expansion. The number of aeons in the core of our local galaxy is uncertain, variously estimated as 12, 30, or 36 in Gnostic writings. The action undertaken by two of them, Sophia and Pela, is supported by all the others. The design and calibration of the anthropos unfolds in an immense scale beyond human conception. Sonic and luminal activity in the core is a vast orchestration of torrential forces, the song and dance of the cosmic gods and goddesses. Aeons have different powers and ages. The older, more mature aeons are the elders in the pleromic community. They have performed countless experiments in world-making and species generation. They know that a new species to be launched into the galactic arms requires a protective shield, a lattice comparable to the husk of a seed. A biological plasm encased in such a husk is called a propagule. According to the widely accepted theory of astronomical biology, direct panspermia, outer space is densely seeded with such propagules. The seeds of life originating in a pleroma float through space in a sealed condition until the moment they fall on fertile soil, the welcoming environment of a life-friendly planet. Such is the future to be expected for the anthropic genome. Gnostics named the aeons according to their outstanding attributes, marking traits, or their perceived functions. The marking traits of Sophia and Pela are wisdom and intention. Thus, the human species is the child of those divine cosmic attributes. The aeon Christos is so called due to its unique function, anointing saturation. The act of anointing is something precise, like distillation in a chemical process, or like photosynthesis. It is a miracle of supernature, but completely material, like any process in nature. Anointing, or gemmation, is a process that belongs equally to natural life and divine superlife. It ensures that an organism formed of cells will be able to maintain its cellular boundaries, to hold to its skin. In a second effect, it instills the entire organism with the instinct for symbiosis so that it can establish bonds with other organisms. Bounding and bonding summarize the designing power of the aeon Christos. The pleroma has a distinct boundary called stauros, or horos, horizon. It compares to the boundary of the yellow yolk of an egg. In cosmic terms, the pleroma is a yolk with strong bounding properties seen in the core formation of spiral galaxies. The boundary of the galactic core is firm but porous, like the egg yolk. To project a new species for propagation, the aeons deploy a directional ray through the pleromic boundary. It opens a temporary channel for the genomic template to pass outwards. This needle-like device is a temporary structure that melts away like an icicle when it has served its purpose. It releases the genomic seed into the womb of galactic space outside the pleroma, in the way a sperm cell can be injected into an ova using a pipette for artificial insemination. The pleroma is the domain of infinite possibility, but there is also a domain of finite possibility, the kenoma, the galactic arms. Those massive structures are filled with material bodies at many different stages of development: young suns, old suns, transient comets, nebula clouds and veils, planetary systems of diverse types and ages. The kenoma contains all the material effects of experiments conducted over immeasurable time by the generators at the galactic core. It also contains vast fields of debris, dust, and ash left over from previous worlds. This disintegrated residue is the raw material for new planets to be formed. Only planets can provide the habitat for life forms designed to appear as minute microbial bodies and large animal creatures of many species, including reptiles, birds, insects, and fish. Animal creatures with a head for concentrating, intelligence, and limbs for mobility must have a specific kind of home base, an Earth-like planet. Unique atmospheric conditions must prevail, and of course, they require water. In the kenoma, countless Earth-like planets arise and dissolve continually, like bubbles in a soapy solution. When propagules from a genomic template drift into the atmosphere of such worlds, organisms emerge. The nebula M42 in the constellation of Orion is visible to the naked eye. In fact, Orion the Hunter is probably the most easily recognized of all constellations due to the alignment of the 3 stars in the belt of the male figure it represents. To the left and down from the first star is a blotch, traditionally taken to depict the sword on Orion's belt. That blotch is M42, the Orion Nebula. It covers an immense area, much larger than the dimensions of the solar system. At the heart of the nebula is a distinct formation of 4 stars, the trapezium, which can be seen with high-powered binoculars. Spread across the immense reaches of the trapezium is the living substance of the anthropic genome, like dew on a spider's web. The 4 composite stars of the trapezium provide a structure like a loom where the genomic substance collects and dwells. From the trapezium, plasmic streams that flow continually through outer space carry the propagules of the anthropos into galactic regions where they can eventually reach the planetary system suited to them. Summary. In Episode 3, it becomes apparent that some details of pleroma activity reported by the Gnostic seers are not to be dismissed as far-fetched fantasies or mystical illusions without evidential basis. On the contrary, the meticulous description of these activities coming from the Gnostics reveals how they were able to detect the equivalent to biological processes occurring at the galactic level. To them, nature on Earth and supernature beyond Earth formed a continuum. And in that continuum, everything is alive, animated. Life can only be born from life, not from the non-living or inorganic. There is a place for the inorganic in Gnostic cosmology, as to be seen in upcoming episodes. Among the many beauties of the fallen goddess scenario, it is a narrative that points human attention directly to human origins. To those who learn the narrative, it comes as a shock of total awe to know that you can actually look into the night sky and see where our species originates. The locale is there in M42, the nebula in Orion the Hunter. The human species, as it appears on Earth today, emerged from the propagules that streamed from M42 and seeded in the home planet. One of the ancient schools of the mysteries, named after the Orphics, registered this fact on a sacred object found in Patelia, southern Italy. The Patelia tablet, circa 400 BCE, is a small square of gold leaf that was given as an amulet to those who underwent a certain initiation, making them intimate with the gnosis of human origins. The inscription says, "I am a child of earth and starry heaven, but my origin is in heaven alone. You yourselves know this."